Peter, take us through what happened on Tuesday morning.
Yeah, so as some of the public may know from seeing the Sun Chronicle article, we had a lineman that was injured, and this is before, we'll say, the storm, which wasn't, as we know, an eventful storm. The course of normal work, we have trees, branches, animal contacts, especially squirrels, birds. In this case, a squirrel got across pieces of equipment, caused a brief outage. We lost what we call Circuit 5 very briefly. Circuit breaker trip, closed back in. We did get some calls from some of the stores down Route 1 without power, but they were all back in very quickly. We did have our line crew come in. They investigated the issue, the crew that went up. So it's one crew, a crew of two. So you have a lineman in the bucket and a groundman. The groundman's job is just that, stays on the ground and performs bucket rescue if needed, but does ground activity, right? So the lineman who was up in the air was doing a routine change out of what we call a lightning arrestor, a protective device protects the cable, protects the circuit. Went up, investigated, saw that, evidence of a squirrel contact. You usually see the evidence on the ground from that. Went to go change out the lightning arrestor, and at some point through the process, there was an arc flash. An arc flash is any number of things that can happen to cause it, but essentially it's a giant spark. But it has a lot of heat, a lot of expansive gases, and it happens very, very quickly. Before that happened, the worker requested to put the circuit in what we call hotline tag, and that ensures that not only does the circuit trip very fast, faster than normal, it also stays out, right? So just like a home circuit breaker, you want that thing to trip if you accidentally plug something in wrong or something were to happen. It did its job. He had his personal protective equipment on, and they're required to wear that PPE throughout any job. So, this is routine. It was precipitation outside. It is a hazardous job in general. It's more hazardous when you're dealing with emergency work. And this wasn't necessarily emergency work yet. We were gearing up for a storm. It was raining and it's transitioned to snow. And this particular event happened. I mean, it happens. You see police and fire, and you can visualize a house fire. You can visualize police activity and the type of things that they may encounter on a day-to-day. Line workers on a day-to-day, the hazards are there. They're invisible. They're silent. When it does happen, it happens so fast, near instantaneous, faster than a human can react to. So we're very fortunate in this particular case that the injuries weren't more severe or more sustained. He was sent to the hospital and was released last night and went home. How long it's going to be out for, I couldn't tell you that. But, this is something that, regardless of what happened, we look at it, we determine the cause of it, and we got to share this information, not only with our own staff, but other municipals. So others have reached out, asking questions. Just an interesting note is that there's some folks that work for National Grid that happen to see the flash. They're working on the High Line. You see National Grid trucks around working on their equipment. They were there either right before or right around the time the ambulance came with a fire burn kit is what they call. It wasn't needed, but they were there on site, and they've been calling on us today to ask questions. So those folks, I just wanted to thank again, and the ambulance that showed up very quickly, people that were observant of what happened. Everybody did their job, the groundman especially. He acted quickly. He's one of our newer employees, several years of experience. However, still one of the newer employees, did exactly what he was supposed to do, and reacted as training kicked in. So, everybody did exactly what they were supposed to do. And made sure that this incident happened. It was also right across the street here. Some of our employees were coming in, so multiple calls to 911 went in. But we're all very lucky, and there's always something to learn from this, and it's always a reminder that this job, when we have meetings about the hazards, and we have safety trainings, we have OSHA trainings, and we have nonstop discussions about how to be safe and what this job entails, it just goes to show you something can always happen, right? Something can always sneak up. We hope we all learn from this, and we want everybody to go home the way they came in.